today we're going to discuss stress management and how you can manage your stress and improve things in your life there. If we can just go around the room here and introduce yourself. Start with you and tell me your name and what your major is.
Michael, and major is architecture.
Okay.
Sarah, and fashion design.
Okay.
Rob, it's graphic design.
Okay. So first I'm going to discuss what factors lead to stress. So what things in your life can be causing your stress now. As a student, you can have multiple obligations. So you could have, the stress of school in addition to your work or your family. Another thing is poor planning. So if you don't have the right tools to plan your day or to plan what your schedule is. Also, you can be a procrastinator. So if you find yourself always leaving things to the last minute, that's something you can work on, and I'll show you some tools for that as well. Another one is lack of relaxation techniques. So we're going to talk about having time for yourself, and what techniques you can employ for that. And then also disorganization. So just being organized and working on that. So some ways that you can get organized is you can make a calendar, and I have a handout here for you. This is an example of a calendar of events. It'll schedule, like, for instance, your school, your work, how to balance those two, what days you have each. You can also put on there important assignments, when you have a midterm, when you have an important paper due, those kind of things. Another thing you can do in addition to creating a scheduled calendar is you can do a list. Now you can do a list by weeks is what I prefer. And the reason weeks is it'll help you focus just on that week, so you're not getting lost with the long-term things. And this is a tool you can use every week right in that time. So you can put together what's due on certain days, and especially if there's certain times those days. So you'll be able to finish a project maybe the night before because you know that you don't get out of work till 4 p.m. and you can't do it if it's due by 7. Another thing you can do is prioritize those obligations. You can prioritize them either using the calendar or your list. And a good way to do that is, obviously in your home life, you're going to have things you need to do. It may be that you have a party to go to, a family party. And it may be something you don't necessarily have to go to. So if you got a paper due that day, it may be more important to do the paper. But if you know it's, like a baptism or something, and you're the godparents, then you're going to need to show up. So you need to plan and make sure that your assignments are due before that obligation, so you can have everything met. And the last thing is you're going to create self-time. Now that's important because if the stress in your life gets to be too much, you're going to be able to handle it in other ways. These tools will obviously help you reduce that and reduce the factors that cause your stress. But here's some tools as far as relaxation, some techniques that you can employ to reduce your stress. Now this handout is a sheet for you to take with you. It's going to go over what I'm showing you in the PowerPoint presentation. And also here's a handout you can look at, just a blown up view of one of them there. So some relaxation techniques. First is meditation. Now meditation isn't always sitting in a dark room, closing your eyes and clearing your mind. It can be, but it also can be just listening to music, how you work out, just anything else that allows you to clear your head and not have to focus on those things. So if you're always jumbled with what comes next, what's due next, just make sure you have an activity that will calm you in that way, and that's meditation. Reflexology is kind of a newer thing. They sell these gloves, as you can see here, at Walmart. There's different points on your hand and on your feet, and as you can see on this layout, how these points work is reflexology. It says certain things like your digestive system. There's certain points on your hands and feet that may help you relieve those things. So when you're studying for a test, if all of a sudden you get nauseous or your stomach hurts and the stress leads to that, you could pinpoint these areas on the digestive system, the stomach, that will help relax those or calm your stomach ache. Another one is like a headache. Headache's a common thing that people say they get when they're stressed out. And that's a lot of muscle tension. You can kind of go in through here too and relieve some muscle tension. Where do I see that? Like your shoulders here. So there's a little point on the feet, and if you rub that point, it should relieve some muscle tension in your shoulders. And there's other ones on your hands, I believe, that are for that. Another one is imagery. This relaxation technique is kind of picturing something. This is a good one for if you're right before you're taking a test. To kind of close your eyes, calm down a little bit, especially if you get really worked up before an exam, especially if it's an important exam, a midterm, a final. And you can just picture yourself somewhere else, or picture something that you know makes you calm. You know, whether it's, thinking about your dog and, cuddling with them. So, acupuncture is another relaxation technique. Now this one, however, you're going to need to seek professional help for it. So doctors will have to administer acupuncture. And they'll use filiform needles, which are these tiny needles seen here. And it kind of works like reflexology because it's actually pinpointing certain areas on the body to release stress in the areas in which your stress sits in your body. Now breathing and muscle tension, this is another one great for exams. Most teachers will kind of tell you before an exam almost to do this and to have the whole class participate. And what this technique is you kind of all tensed up and jittered up for an exam. And what you'll do is close your eyes, take a deep breath in, tense all your muscles, and relax. So if we can just try that real quick. If you can close your eyes for me. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. Now go ahead and tense up all your muscles. Shrug your shoulders and relax. Excellent. Thank you for doing that. So that technique can be used especially before an exam. It'll just help release the stress and tension that you have. Another good technique, I have them all actually, those breathing muscle tension, so that's it for the PowerPoint. So if you have to just ask you, what are the factors in your life that cause you stress? We'll start with you, Michael.
School, obviously school, balancing homework, and I work full time.
Okay.
A lot of stress there.
Okay. And Sarah?
Balancing school, and I have 3 kids, so trying to find the happy medium to take care of all the responsibilities in my life between school and kids.
I'm sure just finding a quiet area to do your work as well.
Yeah.
That's probably something to work on. And Ron?
Mine's probably being unorganized. It's probably my biggest stress factor. As much as I have going on, I never seem to have what I need to get it all together. Time planning, time management, organization is probably my biggest
Okay.
problem.
Well, I'll start with you then. I would say to help organize yourself, you can do 2 things. One is make a list of things that you have to do. And then 2 is a calendar. So you'll have a broad vision of what needs to be done. And then you'll also have a nice narrow vision. And you can kind of check off what you've already done and help organize things that way. With your schoolwork too, make sure if you have a lot of subjects that you're putting everything into a different binder. So you have all your papers in different areas. Because even though you may have them in one location, it might help with your thinking if you have just one spot and one spot for things.
That probably helps.
Yeah.
They're all in one liner.
Sounds like good.
Yeah. And then Sarah, balancing family and school, that one can be pretty tough. I would say the main thing with that is trying to work on relaxation. Are you pretty organized otherwise?
I'm pretty organized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That'll definitely help. So I would think like prioritizing your obligations and making sure that obviously you're taking care of your kids, which I'm sure you are, but also managing those needs of school, because unfortunately when you have children, I know that it falls behind in your schoolwork because those kids come first, and they should. But you'll kind of have to make a list of things that'll be helpful for you, and then also making sure you have time for yourself and finding a quiet place and being able to just take a nice relaxation moment and then begin your work. And you have school and work, I would definitely say calendar of events. That would be a good one for you because you'll then know when you have to go to work and when you have to go to school, and you can plan when certain assignments are due, so that way you're not compromising either one of those obligations. So that's good. What I have for you now is just a test here about what we've discussed. I'm just going to pass this out.
Here, how about?
And if you could please just go ahead and answer the questions. And also with this here, I have a review of the class and information I just presented to you. And if you could just also fill that out for me. And before you do that, do you have any questions for me?
Are we being graded on this?
No. No? All right. Well, thank you all for coming.